Could it be that the pursuit of happiness actually makes people unhappy? And is success really the key to find happiness? Some of us believe that achievements lead to happiness, but a near-fatal illness might prove otherwise. Perhaps the real secret to living well and happy isn't avoiding pain, but something else entirely. Today we are exploring a true story supported by the research of Jennifer Moss. In her article, Happiness Isn't the Absence of Negative Feelings. This article challenges common beliefs about well-being. Happiness is not a reward, but a source of energy. And today, with this article and with this review, we began our series of emotional intelligence and happiness, drawing on Harvard Business Review research.
Welcome to Advanced Quality Programs with Juan Navarro. In this podcast, we're going to dive deep into the world of quality and leadership philosophies that drive successful businesses and great leaders to actually apply them to your everyday life. So if you're ready to improve your life, one quality principle at a time, let's get started.
In 2009, Jennifer Moss thought she had the perfect life. She had the perfect husband, Jim, who had a very good contract. Jim was a professional lacrosse player in top shape. They both had a young son, and they had a baby on the way. And they just moved to California for their career. Everything looked ideal in their life, until one day, Jim stood up from the couch and suddenly collapsed. The events that followed that were terrifying. Doctors gave Jim one diagnosis after the other. First, H1N1, then West Nile virus, and finally, Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare illness where the immune system attacks the nerves and can cause full paralysis. Jim, that elite athlete, could barely move. He was trapped in his own body. Doctors warned Jennifer that he might never walk again. And all of a sudden, their perfect life fell apart, and all overnight. It started with a physical crisis, and it was obvious, but the emotional weight was just as heavy. Jennifer was pregnant and watching her strong, active husband lie helpless in bed. She felt overwhelmed by fears and sadness. She had already been struggling quietly, and now everything felt even heavier. For Jim, the experience was devastating. One day he was at his physical peak, and the next he couldn't even feed himself. His body felt like a prison, and depression began to take hold. Most people would assume happiness under these circumstances, in this situation, is impossible. That you have to get through the hardship before you can feel any joy. But in the middle of that darkness, Jim discovered something very important about resilience. While lying in bed in the hospital, he realized that the only thing he still could control was his own mind. He noticed a pattern. On days when he felt hopeless, physical therapy was almost impossible. But on days when he found small positive gains, small positive thought, he made progress. Desperate for something to hold on to, he asked Jennifer to bring him books, specifically books on positive psychology. He read the work of experts like Martin Seligman, Sean Anchor, and many others. And one idea kept coming back: gratitude. It sounded simple, but for Jim, it was crucial, and he treated it like a serious mental exercise. He started a gratitude journal. Every day, he wrote down 3 to 5 specific things he was thankful for. Not bogus statements, but real moments. A kind nurse, a supportive therapist, the feelings of his son hand on his. And by doing this, he trained his brain to look for good things, even in a terrible situation. He wasn't pretending everything was fine, but by choosing what to focus on, he started his recovery. Jim's experience lines up with years of scientific research, including studies published in the Harvard Business Review, as we will look in the next episodes. And one key idea is that our mindset shapes how we experience the world. Sean Anchor and his research shows that the old belief, work hard, succeed, then you'll be happy, is backwards. Happiness is actually what helps us to succeed. A positive mindset makes us more resilient. A happiness mindset makes us creative, motivated. Jim, in that case, didn't wait to feel better. And by practicing gratitude, he changed his mindset. Practicing gratitude helped him to get better. He also wasn't ignoring those negative emotions. Instead, he was building what researchers call emodiversity, the ability to feel mixed emotions, not just positive ones. People who can experience sadness and joy together tend to be mentally healthier. Jim allowed himself to feel frustrated on days that was difficult, but he also made space for gratitude and hope. This approach matches what Dr. Martin Seligman PERMA models is about, and it's about the well-being. The results were remarkable. Jim slowly began to regain movement. Small improvements turned into bigger ones. Doctors said that he probably wouldn't walk for at least a year. In the contrary, Jim walked out of the hospital in a few months. Now, Jim's story shows that resilience isn't something you are born with. Isn't something you either have or you don't have. It's something that you can build. And in this case, happiness isn't something you wait for until life gets better. It's actually a tool that helps you to get through hard times. And keeping that in mind, that positive mindset, fuels the recovery and helps people not just to survive, but to grow. As you can imagine, this isn't just one inspiring story. You can find many stories like that. One example is Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl. These stories are real examples of emotional intelligence in action, and it shows that these ideas aren't just theories, but they can be lived, and we can actually use them to propel and change our lives. And that is for today's episode. This kind of vital information has been buried in academic papers for far too long. In the next weeks, each week we will break down the research and tell the human stories behind the science. We'll show you why building well-being isn't a soft skill, but a critical strategy for good quality and good quality of life. Before leaving, don't forget to rate my books, Life Quality Projects, Principles of Quality, and the latest, The Quality Mindset. Stay excellent, keep improving, and to make sure that you don't miss more stories like this and strategies like this one, be sure that you subscribe to the podcast.
One small change triggers everything. Watch how agile thinking works. Inspect, adapt, repeat. Each step builds the next, creating confident, unstoppable momentum. This is The Quality Mindset by Juan Navarro. Get your copy now.